Well, thank you very much for joining us. Today we're going to talk little bit about AAA Member Choice Vacations, discovering the difference, what sets AAA Member Choice Vacations apart as a member. We're going to talk a little bit about what guided travel is and featuring some popular destinations that we feel are going to bounce back maybe a little quicker and that people have been really exploring and asking questions about. So I'd like to talk about why guided travel. And certainly many people are considering guided travel in today's times, and the reasons why maybe you would consider it as a member. So guided travel is you would be traveling with a group, and we have many types of travel styles, one being small tour, which is capped, I'll talk a little bit about that, but it's capped at 19 to 24. And I'm going to talk a little bit about our travel styles and what we can offer. But really, we'll talk about guided travel in general, being of more peace of mind, more member benefits, more expertise, more on tour, and more flexibility. So touring has definitely changed throughout the years. As a savings, as a member, we have 160 tours to all 7 continents. So we do offer a save $50 on every tour that you do participate, and that is combinable with any loyalty credits, any offers in the market. And if you've ever traveled with Member Choice Vacations in AAA, this is a fantastic feature that we have on all tours, all 160 that are booked with air. And this is our private sedan service that's to and from the airport within 50 miles. It is a private sedan, brings you to and from the airport within 50 miles. And then from 50 miles to 75 miles, if you're within that area, there would be a small upcharge. But really, it does not have to be your home address. So if you can get into that 50 miles, it's complimentary, or 75 miles at a small fee. You could use a family or friend's house. You can really work with the service in AAA, and we'll really try to make this work, because depending on where you're from, this could be a $200 to $400 value with round-trip private sedan service. So it's a great way to start and end your trip. I usually talk about this at the end of a presentation, but I think it's very important to get this to talk about this right at the beginning. This is our industry-leading travel protection plan with Member Choice Vacation. This has always been our policy, not just in today's times with COVID-19. Your member can cancel for as a member, you can cancel for any reason and get a full cash refund back within 24 hours before the plane takes off. So this, you do have to book this during the booking process, but it also covers travel delay, trip interruption, baggage loss or delay, misconnections, the emergency assistance not only through AAA, but Member Choice Vacations is a 24-hour hotline. So during these times, we had people, a few weeks or months ago that had trip interruption, and we were able to get them back as soon as possible and reimburse them the portion of the trip they didn't experience. Also, moving forward for bookings for the remainder of the year into 2021, we will have a one-time change without fees or penalties. So if you're booked on, say, a trip to Europe, say Italy, and you want to move it to a different date in Italy or even a different itinerary, there will be no fees associated with that. We can get the terms and conditions to you, but it's part of our new industry-leading travel protection plan. Just so you can have peace of mind that maybe you didn't want to go to a destination, you could change destinations and then just we would pay the difference, or you would pay the difference. Touring is very, very important. Accommodations are pretty much everything. Guided tour is really a cruise on land, so the accommodations are so important. And we use high-quality, iconic, and unique hotels with Member Choice Vacations. We list them also online and in itineraries. We just don't say Venice area. We don't feel that's fair to you. So we're very proud of them. We contract them in person, and you're able to look up the actual hotels that we use. So we use unique, iconic hotels. We used to say centrally located, but really that didn't make sense outside of major cities. We use centrally located hotels when we're in Rome or Paris or New York City. But these, as you can see, these are the igloo hotels in our Finland tour. which they're iconic, they're Instagram worthy, they're bragging right worthy. And as you can see, these are the things that you really want to experience when on tour or in Finland. This is overlooking the stars, and in some cases, the northern lights. So just a really fantastic way to see different destinations. And also, people have an objection maybe of guiding because they feel there's a lot of hotel hopping or one hotel stays. Just to put a little bit of ease at that, we average almost 3 nights per hotel stay, 55 plus tours with fewer hotels, 3 or fewer hotels rather. 75% of our hotels have 5 or fewer hotels. And really, on average, if you're looking at a tour to Australia, New Zealand for 20 or 30 days, this is on average. So we really try to have 2 or 3 nights in a hotel with very, very few one hotel stays, unless it's kind of like a different destination and it requires some traveling. But you really want to be able to use the amenities, get acclimated to the area, and typically we'll have a free day in a destination and a hotel for you, so you really can enjoy that experience. We also have upped our game in the last 15, 20 years with Culinary Inclusions. We're a 102-year-old company, and years ago, people wanted 3 meals a day and 8 hours of touring and sightseeing. Well, the people and the traveler has adapted, so we've adapted with them. We feel that we've really upped our game, and we've listened to our members and our guests. They really felt that unless it was a really great experience for lunch, they wanted lunch on their own. So unless it's a winery lunch and we're pairing wines with food, we typically do lunch on your own, but 57% of all meals are included, with 60% of the dinners included. And we've really upped our game, as I said, to the dinners. Breakfast would be at leisure at the hotel, but we really try to venture out of the hotel and not use those hotel restaurants. Not that they're not good, but we really want to get out to the area, get a flavor of the region, meet the locals. And then we did listen. If people said, if you include a dinner, it better be an experience or something that's memorable. So we do like river cruise dinners and Ayers Rock sunset dinner, take a camel to dinner in the Outback, and then a breakfast dinner in New York at Ellen Stardust Diners with singing wait staff. Some of these are just months in advance or for reservations, and that's the value as a group. You're going in, you're not waiting in line. Everything's set for you, and I've heard from members that I love it because I didn't have to do any thinking, and it's a great way to kind of save time and money. So these are a couple of the culinary experiences that you may experience on tour. We've done home-hosted meals, interactive classes, progressive dinners, dine-arounds, exclusive experiences like going through a farmer's market with the chef. Then they come back and they cook a meal with you, and that's your dinner. And it's just a great way to see the locals. Regional specialties, again, local restaurants, local cuisines, menu items that are featured for that region. People's palates and kind of exploration has expanded with the member. So we have too. So we really want to kind of have that option to have the local cuisine whenever possible. We also are not a very option-driven company. We average 2 to 3 per tour on an 8 to 10 day trip to Europe on average. Some companies are 5 to 10 options a day. We say that we include the must-sees. So when we go to Rome, we're including the Colosseum. We're going in as a group. We skip the lines. The tickets are already purchased. So that's very important. Saves you time, saves you money. There's not a lot of out-of-pocket and things that to see the destination. You don't want to pay another $100 to $200 a day to see what you want to see. So keep that in mind when you're looking at itineraries. What is included is what is optional. When we do have an option, they tend to be a little bit more active or adventurous, or maybe it's an evening meal that's free and you still want to do a group dinner. We may offer dinner with transportation and a show as an option, but we do the must-sees, so there's not a lot of out-of-pocket to see the true destinations. We've been pioneers for choice on tour. Again, I mentioned that people wanted 8 hours of sightseeing. Well, really, people wanted a 50-50 now. They want 50% of kind of getting me comfortable with the region, but then let me do my own thing, point me in the right direction. So these are choice. These are included in the package. They're not optional or more optional or additional money. These are options that you have during your free time that you could either go ziplining in Costa Rica or hike the lava fields. So one might be a little bit more active than the other. For instance, in Iceland, we could go snowshoeing or do an ice canyon walk. So these are just a couple of items that maybe, it really is your canvas. We give you the paint and you can kind of paint your direction. So I always say that, the fastest growing restaurants are, make your own pizza, build your own Mediterranean bowl, and make your own items. So we give you the items and you tell us what you want to do. And that's kind of what touring is moving forward. I talked about travel style. So our classic tours are capped at 44. They're running around 34 to 36. Exploration, I'm going to talk about, is small group. And our Spotlights tour are one hotel stays. I did a seminar last week, and we talked about Spotlights. So those are your one hotel stays. There's not too much packing and unpacking. Great ways to see cities. We also offer river cruise and then faith-based spiritual journeys. So I talked a little about small group. So you might be a free independent traveler, or as we say in the industry, an FIT. But people are considering small group because of the value. We tend to be 30 to 40% less than an independent trip. And that's just because you're traveling and you have the value of group, but also our buying power as a company. We're going to these destinations and they're giving us great rates as vendors and hotels. So we send that savings back to you. So these are capped at 19 to 24, but they're really running around 12 to 14. So really ask yourself, if I could save 30 to 40%, would I consider traveling with 5 to 7 couples? Because really you're around the other people when you're maybe traveling by motor coach or small vehicle or train. But these explorations tend to be a little bit more free time. So, and you can do a lot more with small groups. So more boutique restaurants, more boutique hotels, more boutique in general, everything, wine pairings and things that you can't do as a large group. So keep an eye out for small group. And Spotlights, as I mentioned, is the one hotel stay. One of the objections is the packing and unpacking, but use that one hotel and then hub and spoke. So these tend to be 5 to 9 days. They're fully guided and have the inclusions of all of our tours. So I'm going to talk about popular destinations that people are interested lately. This is a 12-day. This is always in the top 5 of 160 itineraries, but it's the number one searched and booked tour right now. It's a 12-day, 17 meals. Now, this is a different itinerary. You're doing many states and many national parks, 5 national parks. So there are a few one hotel stays, but you can fly in on all of our tours or extend your trip at the beginning or the end and use our accommodations, or maybe fly in early and see family or friends. But this starts in Scottsdale, then heads up to Sedona. You overnight in Lake Powell National Park and then Grand Canyon National Park. Then you head up to Zion and Bryce Canyon, some of my favorite national parks. Then you get a little break. You get a 2-night stay in Salt Lake City and then Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Then from there, you're going to stay in Yellowstone National Park, then head over to Sheridan, where you visit Mount Rushmore and Rapid City. So this is the beginning. This is the most popular. It's doing 5 national tours, 5 national parks. And then from here, we break out some itineraries to do the South region or the North region. Our Canyon Country is 8 days, 10 meals. And this will do the Southern region. So again, starts in Scottsdale, heads to Sedona, stays in the South Rim of the Grand Canyon, Lake Powell for 2 nights. You do visit Zion and Bryce. Then you head over to Springdale and then Las Vegas. So a great shorter trip and really featuring the southern areas of the national parks. America's Cowboy Country, again, 8 days, 11 meals. Doing the northern part, you'll be flying to Jackson Hole, doing Yellowstone, Sheridan, and then the 3 nights that you'll be staying in Rapid City, where you're going to hub and spoke to Mount Rushmore, Crazy Horse, Badlands, and Custer State Park. So a really nice itinerary. And some of these tours, looks like there's a lot of driving, but the driving is the experience. You don't want to be falling asleep on the motor coach. These are some of the most spectacular regions of our country, so you really want to make sure you're taking advantage of that. The painted Canyons of the West is a new tour. It's 9 days, 11 meals. And then this will feature, obviously, Denver, heading over and doing a different area and spending a lot of time in Utah. So a really wonderful destination, and featuring Bryce and Zion, but also you're seeing some areas, Colorado's National Monument and Arches National Park. So these are beautiful, gorgeous areas that you always see in photos. Treasures of Northern California. So getting out to different regions. This is 9 days, 12 meals. It'll be going in and out of San Francisco. And then you're going to be featuring Yosemite National Park, Lake Powell, and then heading to Napa and Sonoma, which are absolutely gorgeous regions that I was able to go to not too long ago and absolutely want to go back. So this is another area that you can extend at the beginning and end and fly out of San Francisco. So if you wanted to maybe extend at the beginning or end, which I would say definitely want to spend some more time in San Francisco and the Napa region, we could spend 5 days to a week, and there's so much to see and enjoy. Then we go a little bit north, Pacific Northwest in California, 8 days, 10 meals. And this will be featuring, you're flying into Seattle, and then you go down the coast. And you may not think of this, but it's great to go from the north to the south because you're going to be on the right side of the highway. So you're going to see an absolute amazing coastline during your drive, and you won't have to look over the highway. So really what we'll be featuring is the Cascade Mountains. You'll be heading into Oregon, North Bend, the Blue Lakes, and then ending in California. This is another one I would say maybe a great time. Seattle is an unbelievable city. It's been such a great city for so long, but it's really an up and coming city. So if you wanted to extend at the beginning and then to extend to Napa at the end very easily, and your agent can do that for you. But one thing I did want to feature is the Oregon Dunes and the Redwood National Park. Great value on this tour too. We also do the Colorado Rockies, 9 days. So much to see in Colorado, and then this does go over the border into Utah to talk about those parks, national parks that we talked about a few slides ago. But then you're heading into Durango, which is a great city of the Old West, and then you're heading into Colorado Springs, and then starting your tour in Denver. And then a really nice tour that's close to where I am in Charlotte is the Bluegrass Country and Smoky Mountains. Now, I've been with the company almost 17 years, and this was the first tour I took with Member Choice. This is 9 days, 12 meals. It's a beautiful area that you could go here throughout the whole year, but I recommend summer and fall, so you get those foliage colors into the fall. But this is into Louisville, and then Lexington, down to Gatlinburg, and then Asheville is a wonderful city that's 2 hours from Charlotte, where I am, and we've already been there 5 or 6 times. So much outdoor activity, hiking, breweries, food, shopping. But really, it's featuring the Great Smoky Mountains, and then featuring the Biltmore Estate in Asheville. So it's really a wonderful tour, great price, great value. And again, the drive times, you're going through the Great Smoky Mountains, and just a wonderful, really great tour. I just wanted to talk about it. We are extending our loyalty program to you for 2 years now. So if you travel with Member Choice, within 2 years, you get a $150 credit, again, combinable with the member benefit, along with all offers. And just want to say thank you to AAA agents, and all that are viewing this. We're going to get through this, and I think that we're going through the dream phases right now. So we have some fantastic savings in the marketplace, up to 15% savings on international and 10% on domestic travel. So make sure you're reaching out to your travel agent and seeing what benefits and offers are out there. Thank you so much.